Now, speaking of not having a memory, Gavin Newsom is out there.
He's out there.
And you've got some thoughts about him.
Yeah.
Hold on. We have a clip that I want to show. This is from your show, not the special, but here's a bit. Yeah, the podcast from March 36.
Clearly copying me. I had Steve Bannon on. He had Steve Bannon on. He's literally copying me. The governor of California, Gavin Newsom. Now, by the way, this is not what politicians should be doing, is starting podcasts. No one wanted this. No one who's sitting in an ash heap in Altadena wants him on a podcast. They want him to run the state. You have a job. You have a job. It's the governor of California. That's a hard job, right? He keeps saying it is. The state's very big. It's the 7th largest economy in the world, or whatever he's saying. How in God's name do you have the time to do a pod? Can you imagine launching a podcast in the ash heap of your state? He's now doing is he going to have ads? Is he going to read ads? Is Gavin Newsom going to read ads while people try to find housing in his state?
It's such a good point.
Yeah.
He's totally copying you.
Well, you know what it is? Watching him try and fail to be a human being is a very interesting thing. And that's what he's been kind of doing. You know, Gavin is a ambitious guy who thought he was going to run for president last time.
Yep.
It's clearly obvious to everybody. How many times did he say, I'm standing with Biden? He said it so many times. It was like the lady doth protest too much.
Yep.
He clearly thought he was angling for that. He got passed over, okay, for a unpopular candidate who got trounced. He thinks he's coming back again. And he's trying everything he can to appear like a human being. When you're so ambitious, Markle, Newsom, it's the same type of person. They just want the thing, whatever it is. They want the title. They want the status. They don't believe in anything. Gavin Newsom doesn't believe in it. Meghan Markle doesn't believe in anything. So when you have people like that, their guiding principle is only ambition. Kamala Harris didn't believe in anything.
No.
Say what you want about Donald Trump. He said the same thing about tariffs for 30, 40 years.
Yes.
Okay? People like Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom just want the thing. It's a vibes-based thing. They want people to feel a certain way, and they want to make people feel a certain way.
So when you saw him say to Charlie Kirk, it's just, for me, it's a fairness issue about boys playing in girls' sports.
Yeah.
You know, claiming that they're girls. It's a fairness issue. You know,
Right.
I got daughters.
Right.
And then just this week, somebody asked him about it because they tried to push through a bill out in California to, protect, and it didn't go anywhere. They didn't protect girls.
No.
And he's like, I just can't figure it out. I tried to think about how to make it more fair.
Yeah.
I just can't figure it out.
He goes, I just want to be president. That's all he wants to do.
It's really what he's saying.
It's really what he wants to do. He doesn't have a specific set of beliefs. He doesn't care. It doesn't mean anything to him.
So he'll pander to anybody?
Anybody.
Like he'll if he were across from Donald Trump, you think he'd pander?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because the way that people like Gavin Newsom get far, the way that people like Kamala Harris get far, and there's a lot of Republicans, by the way, who get far the same way, is they don't have a fixed set of principles. Because if you have a fixed set of principles, Bernie Sanders, whatever you want to say about him, has a fixed set of principles. You know, for the most part, he's been saying a lot of the same things for 30 years.
Yeah.
Now, that means that eventually someone comes around to you, or you're out there in the cold. Now, Gavin and Kamala, people like that, they don't ever want to be out in the cold. They constantly want to be in the rooms that matter. So you have to go with the flow. When the world goes a certain way, you got to go with the world. So when Americans render a verdict on the biological men in women's sports and say, we don't want this, Gavin Newsom then has to move in that direction. But when he's in his own state and he's asked about it and the time is to do something about it, he's constantly monitoring and going, is this the right thing to say here? Is this the right thing to say there? So
he can have it all.
He can try, but
he's definitely trying.
His popularity is plummeting. That doesn't work anymore. That's my, I guess, thought about it. The way that politics has worked forever, which was Gavin Newsom's, Kamala Harris, it's been people
say whatever the hell you have to.
Say whatever the hell you have to. Lindsey Graham is like a lot of times says whatever he has to.
Lindsey Graham's everywhere.
Right? He's everywhere. These people don't care about anything. That's not working anymore because of the internet. You're able to immediately go, wait a minute. You said that last week. Where are you on this now?
You're just a phony.
you're a phony and you put together these, compilations of people just being for it and against it and this and that, it doesn't work anymore. And I think that's a major change.
So one person who is the opposite of that, he's completely authentic in his weirdness, his greatness, his brilliance, is Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
He's 100%. He feels the way he feels. Agree or disagree.
Yeah.
He's 100% been saying the same things for 30 years.
Even the picadillos, even we cut off the head of a bear and or whatever.
Right.
And also a whale.
Right. Right.
Yeah, it was a thing.
Right.
And I used to be addicted to heroin.
Right. Right.
Like he's not trying to impress you or downplay anything he's done.
No.
And so I know that you became his fan and his friend.
Yes, I'm friends with him. I like
got
his
to know about
family.
this.
He's a good dude.
Have you done social things with him?
Yeah, him and his wife are great. Cheryl's great.
So
He's great.
What have you guys done together? How does that go?
We've gone to dinner a few times. I went to their compound on the 4th of July, which was really cool to see.
Very nice.
It's a big part of American history.
The Kennedy compound?
Yeah.
The
legit,
compound?
Yeah, for an Irish Catholic guy, that's a pretty good.
Did anybody die, or it was good? It was fine.
I mean, no one died, thankfully.
Excellent.
But they do dangerous activities. It's not like you can see how it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
it's
see
in the blood.
They're adrenaline junkies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're very much.
Did you meet Schlossberg, the grandson of JFK? Because he seems to be a little
They seem to be on opposite sides of the thing.
Don't worry about that.
Okay.
They seem very opposite.
Yeah. No,
so he was there and the whole family was there because he's persona non grata.
He was not there. I actually went with his kids. He wasn't there. Him and Cheryl weren't there that weekend. They were somewhere else, but they could have been there. I think that, listen, it's a family. They disagree about stuff. It's a high stakes family. They disagree about a lot of stuff, and it's very public.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, it is a family, and it's a, important family in terms of the history of America.
So when you have, as I don't know him like that, I've supported him, but I don't know him personally like that. So when you have dinner with RFKJ, does he always talk policy and history?
He talks a lot about that stuff, and he's very, very passionate about it. And again, you don't get the vibe that this is someone angling to be famous.
Yeah.
That's
he has genuinely held beliefs.
That's not why he went after polluters forever when that was incredibly unpopular. That's not why he talked about vaccines during the pandemic when that was incredibly unpopular. Right. He feels the way he feels, and I think that the only way to get out of the climate we're in America, in the sense of we need people who have genuine convictions. And they can debate about them and they can argue about them, but we need people with genuine convictions, and he has genuine convictions.
How do you think Cheryl is surviving in the Hollywood crowd?
I think she's an incredibly funny, smart, talented person who's respected in her own right as a great actress, great comedic actress. Yeah. And I think she has real friends and real relationships. And I think that's also changing. A lot of people in that state and in that business are also starting to moderate a little bit, because I think they're starting to see that, they have drifted far from the mainstream of American life.
Yep.
And I think they're starting to come back.
Tariff wars, stubborn inflation. No wonder gold has been routinely hitting all-time highs. In volatile markets like the one we have now, don't sit on the sidelines with your head in the sand. You can take control and safeguard your savings now. This is why so many Americans today are turning to Birch Gold Group. They've helped tens of thousands convert an existing IRA or 401k into one in physical gold. Is it time for you to hedge against economic instability with gold? To learn how to own physical gold in a tax-sheltered account, text MK to 989898. Birch Gold will send you a free, no-obligation info kit. Again, text MK to the number 989898. A+ rating with a Better Business Bureau, countless 5-star reviews. Birch Gold has helped so many. It took us decades to get into the tangled mess we're in right now. How long to get out of it? Text MK to 989898 today. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.